Hi everyone, welcome back to Novel Nomad and welcome to day 16 of Vlogmas. So today I will be doing my December book haul. Yes, it's before Christmas and I'm already doing a book haul, mainly because I've just celebrated my 30th birthday party. Well, I had my birthday party, I should say. My birthday was in November. And I knew I'd be getting some wonderful gifts from my very beautiful friends. So I just thought I would want to share all these lovely surprises with you as well. So first off, we're going with my beautiful bestie Chloe. She got me Tales of Japan, Traditional Stories of Monsters and Magic, with illustrations by Kotaro Chiba. Just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I've been wanting to find a book on Japanese folklore. I know there are a few around, but none have really caught my attention like so much. But this one is just stunning. It's using those really beautiful traditional styles of Japanese illustration and like that almost woodblocking style. But I'm really excited to read this. I love fairy tale, as you might guess from my collection here, but just to have another edition is going to be wonderful. Another one from Chloe was The Botanical Shakespeare, an illustrated compendium of all the flowers, fruits, herbs, trees, seeds and grasses cited in by the playwright. And not only that, they actually have illustrations of all the different herbs, fruits, seeds, spices, everything like that through here, and that's just endlessly fascinating to me because these things obviously that were not only in English gardens at the time, but were so common knowledge as well that they could be used in a play, and sometimes they could be used to allude to something else as well. So I love this idea. I just love how it's going to be telling me where it's used in the play and just some background. And so it's just got verses of Shakespeare on flowers, and the book once again is beautiful. So thank you very much, Chloe, you know me well. And lastly, bookish gift from Chloe was The Breath of a Whale, Science and Spirit of the Pacific Ocean Giants. So obviously coming off non-fiction November, I am riding a high with non-fiction, but also because Chloe and I went whale watching when we were over in Vancouver Island, and that was just one of the most magical experiences I've had on being a tourist. So just to have this, and it's actually going into the science and just how beautiful these creatures are. So I'm just super excited, and it once again beautiful illustrated cover, but it's about the science and spirit of the Pacific Ocean Giants. It just makes me so happy. I'm so excited to read this. It was sent to me by my beautiful friend Katie in London. I actually arranged for her to pick it up for me, so she's so endlessly beautiful for doing it. And that is the Waterstones special edition of The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. The reason why I got this is because I love the bee motif. Surprise! So I love the bee motif, and I didn't want it with the guy in the background. I just wanted like the bee motif with that beautiful marbling. It is a stunning book. It even has a classic little motif on the side. You've got the bees in the end paper, and even that is got it on the cover as well. I had to get one. Now they don't just come in navy, they do come in other colours, sorry, for the cover, but I definitely wanted the navy. So it was either that or the teal, but the navy is also incredibly beautiful. I'm so excited to read this. I'm so nervous though, so I think I need to read this with absolutely no distractions, and just dedicate my time to it. But it's going to be a good read, and I've heard so many good things about it. So I'm so excited. My beautiful friend Alyssa got me a really interesting one actually. This is Sharon Blackie's Fox, Fire and Wolfskin and Other Stories, Shape-Shifting Women. It's like a collection of short stories, and Alyssa was hunting for this. A collection of stories with a bit of a feminist twist, but also going into a bit of folklore magic realism as well. So everything up my alley. But I've never heard of this book, and I haven't seen it before. It's just, I love when I get surprised by these beautiful hardbacks and short story collections. So I'm so excited. I have no idea, besides what the title says and what Alyssa says when she researched it. I don't know anything else about this one, but I'm so ready to read this. It's going to be amazing. I need some more amazing short stories on my collection. I also got another bee book, but it's a gardening bee book, so, but it's still another bee book. So, and that is Planting for Honeybees, A Grower's Guide to Creating a Buzz by Sarah Wyndham Lewis. Now I think this is predominantly like English. I think it's written from an English perspective, but we have many different flowers like that over there, and I can easily look up the Australian native versions as well. So when I finally get my own garden, I'm definitely going to be planting for the bees and the birds so they can enjoy all the fruits of my gardening labour. But yeah, this is such a beautiful little book as well. It just makes a beautiful presence when the design of the book just fits so beautifully into it. So yeah, more bee books. So you know that given my Friday frolics that I've bought Tomorrow Will Be Different and also Between You and Me. This is from Imprints and that's from the pop-up bookstore. So I've bought those ones. I'm so excited. More non-fiction. This is like memoir, but English lovers words editing memoir, and this is looking at trans equality. So two very fabulous topics to be looking into, but those ones I did in my Friday Frolic videos. Please go and check them out if you did want to see me walk around my local CBD or central business district downtown and just go shopping. And the other ones that I got is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. This one is because I've been talking to so many people about Japanese fiction recently, and this one kept coming up over and over again, and so I'm really interested to try it, see what it's like. It's a bit of a time traveling one actually, so it's like a little coffee shop in the back streets of Tokyo, and I think if you could go back, who would you want to meet? So it's almost as if you get to go back and meet these famous people in this coffee shop, which is pretty awesome. I think that's the question everyone has, like if you could meet someone famous, who would it be? So the fact that they've done it in a book and it's probably going to be in a fabulous whimsical Japanese like slice of life style, even better. Next is one that was a pure, not cover buy as such, but it just caught my attention straight away, and I was really fascinated by it. So I picked it up straight after Non-Fiction November, so you can tell it's going to be non-fiction. And that was Things We Don't Talk About When I Was a Girl, but they've crossed out Victim, Survivor and Friend. And this is by Jenny Vanasco. So what is amazing about this book is it talks about she experienced sexual assault from a man who she was actually friends with and had been friends with for a while. And obviously she suffered the same trauma and that kind of loss of self that many people go through, but she actually meets him and talks to him about it, and to see how from his perspective they were friends, and so how did it spiral down to leading to something so violent. Anyway, it sounds like it's going to be a very interesting read and something I haven't quite come across yet. So I think it's going to be very personal, I think it's going to be something I'm going to have to read individually, slowly, and just let myself really try to understand where she's coming from. My next read is so exciting. It is a romance book, but it's Tessa Sue, Bound for Glory. I know Tessa Sue. I've read the first 2 books in her quartet. This is book 4, and I love this character. She's like, it's set in like frontier America. First ones are on the Oregon Trail. I think, is this one on the Oregon Trail too? I was so excited. I saw the name. I knew it was coming out. I'm so excited to read it. Think about cowboys, but this one's mainly focusing on a female journalist who's coming out to the frontier, and she wants to make a name for herself by herself. She doesn't want to be able to rely on anyone. But she's penning some fairly fantastic fables about a famous First Nations rider called, First Nations warrior, I should say, called Death Rider. And so everyone is starting to believe his great legacy that she's been writing when she hasn't really got to know the man himself. So this is going to be a really fascinating one about women, independent women on the frontier, but also about a First Nations man at the time. But yeah, so I think this is going to be excellent, and if it's anything like Tessa's other books, it's going to be perfectly researched. So you're going to get a really interesting look into the wilds of the frontier. And lastly, because I simply could not resist, covers by Yukio Shimizu, and that is... These are the Vintage Classics Japanese series, and you have so many beautiful, stunning covers, all perfectly illustrated, of course, by Yukio Shimizu. So the first one is Out by Carino. This is a crime novel I really thoroughly recommend for Cloak and Dagger Christmas, because it's one of those really twisty psychological thrillers, and it's set in Japan, and it kind of really bends your brain. Basically, it's really out there, and it's really great. But it comes in this amazing cover, and they do such good work with these series. But the next one is Mishima. He's quite a famous writer from the early 1900s. His work's been translated for a while, and I think this is one of his most famous ones, The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea. And it's just absolutely beautiful. If you can see there, you've got like the legs coming out of the water. Yeah, so he's a really interesting character, Mishima. Himself, not just as his writing, but his writing's really interesting as well. Next we have Ogawa with The Housekeeper and the Professor. I've heard good things about this one. I haven't read it myself, but I have heard good things. I think it's a bit of a Japanese classic as such. And speaking of Japanese classics, you have this beautiful edition. This is the Makioka Sisters by Tanizaki. I haven't read this one either, but this is very traditional Japan, and it's more like a historical fiction as well, but it's just stunning. Just look at that cover. I think that's one of my favourites that she did. And of course you have a Murakami. This is a Wind-Up Bird Chronicles. Once again, absolutely beautiful. The lemon sherbets, you got the bird, you have the cats, of course he loves his cats, and the telephone at the top. So all perfect motifs to work so well with the story. So these editions are stunning. They've come out, I had to get all of them at the same time. So that was a bit of a Christmas present to myself. But yeah, so I had such a great book haul for December, and so many beautiful things that I just was not expecting. So many exciting non-fiction as well. I'm really in a mood for non-fiction at the moment. But let me know if you've got anything yet, early Christmas presents, or if you've hauled some lovely books this year. Let me know what you're hoping or have got for December, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!